Welcome back to every NES game. I'm Slider and as always joined by Manga.
Hiya.
And this is Blaster Master.
A frog?
A frog?
Oh, is this frog about to get bitten by a radioactive spider?
No. It's just going to find radioactivity in general. Outside his house. Then it's going to fall into a hole. And then he's going to fall to his death. This is smart. Oh, a tank. Neat. I am now an anime.
I say, is this your tank that you keep down here for reasons, or did you just find a tank and decide to get in it and go after your radioactive frog? Because you live next to Chernobyl or some shit?
Yes.
Left 2?
Left. That's how many lives we have left.
Ah.
English! Anyway, this is a platform where you shoot things. Original. But forget all that. That's P for re-healing our health, which is called POW!
Okay then.
But forget all that. Let's listen to the music, which is awesome.
The music is pretty fun in this. I mean, side-scroll and shoot is a time-honored classic.
Yes.
You can't really fault it for that.
These enemies are gonna try to peer off nowhere to try to get us. Be a bit annoying to deal with. But just a bit.
This is a phenomenally bouncy tank.
Yes.
I've never seen a tank that could jump.
And he just flew away.
Bye! Fuck this shit, I'm out.
His home planet needs him. No, but seriously, I could listen to this music forever. It is awesome.
So can I be why is all this shit under this dude's house in Chernobyl?
Video game.
What are all these?
Video game enemies.
I overthink these games. I know I do, but I'm just why?
Why not?
For the sole purpose of having some shit to shoot.
Yes. You have to keep track of some enemy patterns, like that one that just jumps whenever he would be in the way for him to jump into you.
Ah.
Yeah, that would get rid of this guy, or maybe he'll just disappear. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna show off the cool, probably the most interesting mechanic of this game.
Oh.
You can leave the tank.
Oh, that's quite cool.
Yes.
Tiny dude off on his own. Also, there's trees growing underground here. How deep down are you?
Pretty deep, I guess. But unfortunately, this form has fall damage, so don't jump off ladders.
Get out of the tank, instantly die. That is how it works, to be fair.
Yeah. Instead, we want to carefully make our way down. Now this guy's gonna get in our way, so we want to duck and shoot. In order to show off the other cool thing about this game, if you enter certain areas, it entirely changes their perspective. And now it's a top-down shooter thing.
Funky.
It's quite a bit different. Those are also enemies that if you end up in front of them, they'll move back and forth. Just want to check something though. Trying to see if I can get some items, but they're only dropping health, which my health is full, so it doesn't matter. I also have a bomb attack, which can do a lot more damage, but it has a weirder arc to hit it. Almost like its throat. Anyway, we want to destroy these blocks, because sometimes they have power-ups. Okay, we got some. Playing with the other ones too later, but there's that gun power-up which improves our gun. See if we have a gun meter.
As you do.
This one increases the range, so we can hit farther away. Now we have gun power-up. Let's get out of here.
More gun!
Walk up here and get in our tank. Cool thing, by the way, is that the human and the tank have separate HP.
Ah, handy.
Yes. And you heal yourself when you get in the tank. Which can help.
Very handy.
So gonna try to get in here to find some more power-ups. Let's hope I do well. So there are enemies flying by. Now the tricky thing about this also is that if you're hit, your gun level goes down a level. So you want to not get hit.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Want to try to accumulate power-ups without losing any. And unfortunately these guys come out of nowhere, so that can be a bit tricky. Yes, another one. Which makes it a bit more rapid fire, but just a bit.
I mean, not getting hit by bullets is generally how you want to go through life anyway.
Yes. Or flying underground robots. Or whatever these are.
All things you do not want.
Yeah. Unfortunately for some of these, you're not gonna find a ton.
Still worth checking out, I guess.
Yes. Now, another cool thing is that these levels aren't entirely linear. While there is one direction to ultimately go in, there are like different pathways to check out. First, we're gonna check to the left. And, oh god, what is that?
The fuck? Looks like some Metroid shit.
Yes, it does. It looks terrifying. Yeah. Also, I just realized, are those enemies that jump around to check you, are those supposed to be like Chinese zombies or something? Because when I think randomly jumping towards you, that's immediately what comes to mind. Just a random thought I just thought.
Why Chinese zombies specifically?
Because that's how they work. Last I remember, at least.
What?
Am I wrong? Am I remembering wrong?
Why Chinese zombies?
Because Chinese zombies jump towards you. Is that not a thing? I could have sworn that was a thing.
I don't know.
Anyway, at this point, everything's trying to attack us. How annoying. Also, that there was nothing here. That's annoying too.
That's frustrating.
So that is a good question. Why are there trees here?
Yeah, how far underground are you?
Pretty far, or not far enough, or both.
I mean, have you heard that thing about that, like, pit in Siberia that they call the entrance to hell, and it's just this, like, thousands and thousands of years old permafrost that's melting and revealing, like, 200,000-year-old layers of buried trees and shit. Historically, it's fascinating, it's just that it's another sign that our environment is pretty fucked.
Also, jellyfish. Also, slow down. God damn it. No, slow down. Let's continue on into the water.
Jellyfish are enemies in every video game because jellyfish are the ultimate form of evil on this earth, aside from Republicans.
True. Swim, swim, and then climb a ladder.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming.
That's the human's greatest attribute, climbing ladders.
It's them opposable thumbs, you know?
Tanks need to grow opposable thumbs already.
I'm sure there's like a military technician somewhere working on it.
I hope so.
I really could listen to this music forever.
Yes, it is that good.
I mean, that is the whole point of designing good video game music, is that, you know, the player can play and listen to it for all of time.
Yes.
Those rocks respawn real quick.
Yes, they do. Pretty much when you get off screen immediately, they do. So, a slightly annoying thing is that most of the power-ups I'm getting are health recharge or whatever. And, like, if they're getting all the gun upgrades, then you haven't been hit, and that means all these are worthless.
Yeah. They're absolutely ignoring the health power-ups because it's like, need more gun! Need more gun!
These enemies are very annoying because they'll shoot like almost the millisecond they see you. So you can get surprise attacked if you're not careful. Also, you can walk over the spikes, but obviously you don't want to.
No, again, recommending spikes, avoiding walking on spikes is a good general life tip, not just a video game. What the fuck is that?
I don't even know.
Zombie heads?
Yes. Zombie robot Frankenstein head. Oh yeah. So yeah,
Oh god, what's
I'm not sure how long the epilepsy will go on, but the maximum is 1330. This boss is weird is what I'm saying.
Ah, okay.
This is the boss. It's called Mother Brain, which... copyright infringement?
I was about to say, is this an Earthbound thing?
No. But we want to spam it with our bomb attack. Try to get multiple attacks per attack. And we also don't want to get hit by the little rocks around it, but it's hard to avoid at some points.
Yeah, you are hemorrhaging half here.
Yes. But to be fair, so is he by me spamming that. And there we go. Spam attacks is very good against it. For our reward, we get a new power-up for our tank.
Shame you can't go back and grab all that health you had to leave behind.
Yeah, I tried to check, but yeah, I couldn't find it, so... Yeah, I couldn't find any new upgrades or any old ones. That's unfortunate. I'm not sure, I think some of the power-ups might respawn if you exit and leave an area. One of those areas, but I'm not entirely sure. Now, it's not immediately apparent, because these guys get killed with one hit no matter what, I think. But, this doubles your damage for your tank.
Nice.
Which is good, because even some of those early enemies were taking 2 hits. The only unfortunate thing is that it's a little more annoying to get out of the water than to get into the water when you're a tank. But yeah, these enemies are no problem at this point. Not that they were much of a problem to begin with.
All this because your pet frog got away?
Yes. The lengths you'll go for a frog.
I would say, I just realized I don't know whether you're like out in the tank to kill the radioactive frog or just because you want to get it back because it's your pet. And you knew that there were nuclear mutants down here.
So as a bonus thing we can check out down here. Though we want to be careful about these mines. Take our time. Let the jellyfish stupidly jump up here. There we go. Want to carefully fall down. Thankfully that didn't count as hitting it somehow. Destroy him as our little guy here.
Good times.
Anyway, down here, I believe there is another one of those entrances. Yeah, here we go. This is how the game works. Just finding power-ups, going through caves, platforming as a tank to get to them.
Pretty solid looking game.
Yes, it is. Actually, I haven't said it yet, but this has to be one of my favorite NES games. I have actually played this before. When they put it on the Virtual Console on the Wii, I played it and it is awesome. This is actually a really awesome game.
Nice.
Just a really, really fun, interesting little platformer. A lot of cool ideas, and most of them are just really fun in execution. I mean, the one thing I will say is that it can take a little bit to get used to the tank, because it slightly controls like a tank. It's not like the smoothest thing. But for an NES tank, it controls really well.
Well, it just looks fun to play for long periods, which is all you really need out of an NES game.
That's also important, because, like, this isn't like some short game, all things considered. There's quite a few levels that are this length. With a power, we can also destroy this crazy evil Cthulhu head thing. And it opens the way!
More mines! More evil navies!
Yes. Yes. Who put these here?
Don't know!
I bet it was the frog.
The frog's trying to hide its tracks. It won't go back to jail, man. It's not going back.
There's no going back.
That would be a much better pun if this was an ice level.
Health upgrades and...
Medieval castle, okay. I would say
Of course!
I'm assuming there's an ice level in here somewhere because, like, there is. We all know there is.
I don't entirely remember. I know there's a water level, but oh joy.
Yep.
Yeah. Just gonna drive our tank through an underground castle, as you do.
As you do.
Also robotic moth insect things in this underground castle.
Because why not? And whatever these bullets with feet knockoff Koopa things are.
Yes. They're very odd. When you destroy the mines, they throw fireballs. That's just cruel.
Because if you're gonna die, you might as well land a solid fuck you on the way out.
Yeah. As a side note, I do love the little gun on the tank, because when you move it, it reminds me of like an elephant's trunk.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cute. You can, like, point it up, ahead, each way.
Yeah, so the thing about Blaster Master is that the original is considered like kind of a cult classic. It's like a pretty beloved game. But there's actually like quite a few Blaster Master games. And like, I'm not sure any of them were like particularly well known, but there are just like a bunch of other games in the series.
Were they all solid Wii games, or just none of them as good as the original?
I think some of them are considered pretty good. And actually, more interestingly, and just this is great timing. Literally a couple of months ago, they released a new Blaster Master game on the 3DS and the Switch.
Nice.
And the cool thing is that it's kind of, sort of a remake of the original.
Hey, look, we're topical.
Yeah.
Sorta.
Yes. Yeah. And it actually looks like a really good one. It's made by the same people who did Azure Gunvolt and the Mega Man Zero series, so they're known for making pretty good 2D platformers.
Coolio.
And it's been a pretty well received game, and yeah, that's been great timing. Kind of interesting to play that version sometime, since it is on the 3DS. And it also has save points and things, and thank God. Yeah, the one thing I will say about this game is that it did need some updating, most notably. The thing is, I've tried multiple times to actually complete this game, but the worst problem with this game by far is that it has limited continues. If you get enough game overs, you go all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah,
and this is a decent, and this is for an NES game, it's pretty long. Like, it's like, I'd say like, maybe like 2 hours.
Yeah, limited continues is a sin that I'm glad gaming is rid of.
Yeah. I don't think anyone wants that. Even when games are short, I don't think anyone wants that.
Nobody has ever wanted that.
No. Except for Blockbuster, when it was still relevant. Hey kids, you have to rent it again if you want to beat this game, ha ha ha. And now you know why Blockbuster lasted for any length of time.
Do you know, one of the other English teachers here is from a part of Liverpool where apparently there is still an open Blockbusters and nobody knows how.
Cool.
Nobody knows what rift in space-time this thing is sitting on.